smartphone yawe urayishakira muri Play Store cyangwa App Store, andikamo RBA ushakishe, wahageze. Ishimire application ya RBA, aho usanga amakuru ndetse ukanahasanga radiyo zose za RBA, amakuru y'ubukungu, amakuru ya siporo, ay'imyidagaduro. Application ya RBA urayisanga kuri
Good evening and welcome to the English News Bulletin here on Rwanda Television. We believe you had a good day. We'll begin with the headlines. The President of the Senate has re-echoed that promoting the well-being of citizens is in line with their development, is in the cornerstone of the protecting the lives of individuals. The National Consultative Forum of Political Organizations in Rwanda strongly condemns the rhetoric of hatred and the ideology of genocide that continues to be seen in some countries within the region where Rwanda is located. On the international scene on Friday, the new president of Namibia, Netambo Nandi Ndaitwah, took the oath of office as the head of state. My name is Olivnet, and it's always a privilege to have you with us. Now let's kick off today's edition. The President of the Senate has re-echoed that promoting the well-being of citizens in line with their development is the cornerstone of protecting the lives of individuals. He made this statement at the end of discussions organized by the Network of Rwandan Parliamentarians on Population and Development. William Evans kicks us off tonight.
Discussions held with deputies and senators focused on programs related to the well-being of citizens and development, enhancing the health of mothers and children, reproductive health, preventing the HIV/AIDS epidemic, and other non-communicable diseases. Another topic addressed was the government's strategies for environmental conservation and tackling climate change. Participants in these discussions said they were very useful.
These discussions are important for us, and through us, they will be beneficial to the locals. Such conversations help us align with the large national goals and vision for development.
The Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies of the Parliament of Rwanda, Honorable Kazarwa Gertrude, mentioned that these discussions are expected to yield tangible results.
We have significantly achieved a number of things in line with promotion of the well-being of citizens. What we're lagging behind and needing more efforts, we always report to the authorities in charge.
The President of the Senate, Dr. Karinda Francois Xavier, urged the participants in these discussions to do more advocacy aimed at improving citizens' living conditions. I want to remind you that these discussions align with the mandate of the Network of Rwandan Parliamentarians on Population and Development, as well as the Parliament itself, especially under the principle of promoting equal opportunity access and the fundamental principle of a government that fosters the well-being of its citizens. The country representative of the United Nations Population Fund commended Rwanda for enhancing the well-being of Rwandans through the establishment of several development programs.
For a country like Rwanda, with all the progressive policies and laws and the very high-level intention to do good by government, including the parliament, I think it's possible, and I think Rwanda can set a good example for the rest of Africa on how to eliminate preventable maternal deaths. Mark the word preventable, because we know that things happen, people die for different reasons, but no woman should die because they are trying to give life when they are not sick or they don't have any serious underlying conditions. And I must tell you that in the last 1 year, Rwanda has shown that young people can actually achieve a lot if they can be given the opportunity to do that. And there are many examples that I can count, but I would not want to bore you with that on how I've seen how Rwanda has really supported its young people to be able to come up with the best that they can give. And I was addressing a group of young people sometimes last year, and I said, look, I think in Africa at least, Rwanda is one of the best places for any young person to be at this time because of the opportunities that young people have in the country.
Members of the network of Rwandan parliamentarians on the population and development noted that the increasing population should be aligned with economic development. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Evans for the details. Now moving ahead to other matters, the National Consultative Forum of Political Organizations in Rwanda strongly condemns the rhetoric of hatred and the ideology of genocide that continues to be seen in some countries within the region where Rwanda is located. This issue was discussed on Friday during talks that brought together leaders of political parties in the country and young people. Politicians from the registered political parties in Rwanda agreed that they will intensify efforts to combat hate speech in Rwanda and the ideology of genocide, which continues to spread in neighboring countries, especially in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The spokesperson for the National Consultative Forum of Political Organizations in Rwanda, Alphonse Ngubana, stated that they are committed to strengthening efforts to educate citizens on good governance, particularly focusing on the young people.
We have people who oppose the country or those who seek to distort history, and they do so using social media platforms by spreading falsehoods and speaking ill of the country. However, civic education is crucial and ongoing, as every year a large number of young people reach adulthood and they may not be fully informed. We will continue teaching our children civic education, sharing the truth about our country, the truth of how it was rebuilt, the process it took to get there, and what we aim to achieve. This is a path we must continue to follow.
Some young people recently received training at the Political Science and Governance School established by the National Consultative Forum of Political Organizations in Rwanda. They say that the lessons they received have empowered them to love their country and strive for the unity of Rwandans while fighting against the ideology of genocide. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Mahoro Eric, stated that political parties have a crucial responsibility to continue teaching the young people the history of the country in order to build unity of Rwandans, starting within young members of these organizations.
Let me start by saying that they have a significant role to play in fighting the ideology of genocide, which is often seen in the region. First and foremost, they must teach history, starting with members of political parties, especially the young members. It is essential to train them to prioritize the unity of Rwandans over varying political positions or any other positions.
These discussions among political parties also aimed to review the 2024 elections, the lessons learned, and how to improve future elections. Political parties are often most visible in these activities during elections periods and in the leading up to elections. However, they are now being called upon to engage in continuous civic education activities, not just in anticipation of elections. To other matters, on Friday, March 21st, 2025, the Chief of Defense Forces of the Ugandan People's Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, together with the Chief of Defense Staff of the Rwanda Defense Forces, General Mubarak Muganga, visited the Nyakinama Military Academy in the Musanze district. In his speech, General Muhoozi emphasized the strong partnership between the armed forces of both countries, stating that it continues to yield tangible results in addressing security challenges. General Muhoozi also delivered a lesson to the 108 senior officers from various countries who are studying at the academy. The lesson focused on fostering military cooperation as a key pillar in ensuring security in Africa. He urged the students to work together more as Africans in resolving the challenges facing their continent without waiting for others to solve them. The senior officers studying military courses at the Nyakinama Military Academy come from Rwanda, Benin, Botswana, Burkina Faso, the Central African Republic, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Ghana, Guinea, Jordan, Kenya, Malawi, Mali, Mozambique, Nigeria, South Sudan, Tanzania, Zambia, and Uganda. To religious matters, faith-based organizations have expressed to the Rwanda Governance Board that the regulations governing these organizations are too strict. This comes as the board states that such regulations are being put in place to ensure that requests from these organizations are properly considered. Among the regulations highlighted as obstacles are requirements such as providing a list of at least 1,000 people from the district where the organization intends to operate who support the organization, and the need for leaders of faith-based branches to have religious studies qualifications. Despite this, on the other hand, the regulations are seen as necessary, as explained by Dr. Laurent Banda, the leader of the Rwanda Interfaith Council. The Rwanda Governance Board reports that a review conducted last year identified various issues, including teachings of false doctrines and deceptive promises, frequent collection of money from citizens in an arbitrary manner, lack of transparency, fraud, poor financial management, and lack of harmony among leaders leading to defection. The reasons and methods for the regulations were designed to strengthen the principle of transparency, accountability, and good governance in faith-based organizations. These guidelines aim to ensure that religious organizations focus not only on evangelism but also on activities that improve the welfare of the population. The civil society and political parties within RGB state that the concerns raised have been addressed. Since August 28, 2024, an inspection has been carried out in 14,094 churches and mosques, of which 9,880, representing 70.1%, were closed. The regulations published in the official gazette on the 7th of this month came into effect from that time, and faith-based organizations were given 12 months to comply. So more news in Rubavu district. Customers of the Bank of Kigali in this district and Nyabihu district have requested the bank to remove the barriers related to collateral value and make it easier for them to repay loans in the event of disasters. They made this request during the launch of the Bigireho N'inguzanyo ya Beka awareness campaign by the bank. We have details. When the Bank of Kigali launched its awareness campaign, Bigireho na Beka, in collaboration with its customers in the Rubavu district, it showcased financial solutions that could accelerate development. The CEO of the Bank of Kigali, Diana Karusisi, informed customers that employees with monthly salaries now have access to a system that allows them to borrow up to 50 million Rwandan francs via their phones. What we launched today is a loan that can be provided through the phone, allowing you to access it without leaving your home or waiting in line at the bank branch. The loan amount can go up to 50 million, and it can be received in a short period of time. We explained how it works, and it is processed efficiently, quickly, and in a trustworthy manner. This will help our customers access loans in an easy, fast, and reliable way. The Bank of Kigali is committed to empowering its customers in various sectors and making it easier for them to access financial services that provide impactful solutions. BK customers who attended the event expressed their gratitude for the bank's consideration and requested that Rubavu district be given special attention due to its unique geographical location.
Nowadays there is a program where when you request for a loan, let's say for 50 million, you need to provide collateral of at least 100 million. This is what we were suggesting should be revised in order to make it easier to access loans.
In response to these requests, the CEO of the bank, Diana Karusisi, stated that they are already aware of these concerns and will address any remaining issues. We usually take action when there is an issue that causes our customers to face losses. There are ways to facilitate them, but we have also observed that security is well established here in Rubavu. We believe that business will flow smoothly, and I'm confident that the problems we might encounter will diminish, which will help our clients develop. The Bank of Kigali aims to be a trusted partner for its customers in business and agriculture with the goal of improving the livelihoods of citizens. The use of technology in this journey is a cornerstone as it will facilitate the swift delivery of banking services. Now to the education sector, researchers at universities believe it is time for their work to move beyond merely striving for grades and promotions and instead contribute to the market by providing solutions to existing problems and aiding in the country's development. So far, the Rwandan government has invested over 7 billion in more than 126 research projects. William Evans has more on this.
Professor Marie Umuhozariho is a lecturer at the University of Rwanda and is one of the researchers. She, in the past, has conducted various research projects that remain in books and never reached the market for practical use. This time, she is pleased that her research aimed at combating malnutrition is going to the market as a viable solution to address malnutrition in children.
I am hoping it can go out. It is almost ready for market because it is funded by NCST. Is this one? The trademark is already obtained, is Mungare. Even the patent is obtained. And you see it is packaged and labeled. It is really ready for market. We are now prepared to go to market research for commercialization.
Dr. Theophile Nyonzima, an associate professor of environmental geography at the University of Rwanda, notes that previously research conducted at universities was primarily aimed at helping students or lecturers advance and for good grades. However, the university is now undergoing reforms to ensure that research aligns with societal needs and subsequently reach the market to offer solutions.
We want our research to really be contributing, our research results to be contributing to addressing key challenges faced by the country and contributing to the sustainability of the development. We have been doing research, and sometimes our research results could just be kept at the library, publications. But we want to go further to make sure that we go further from that and make sure that the research results are transformed in products, services. Yeah, it's a process.
While the National Council for Science and Technology, in collaboration with the University of Rwanda, launched a book outlining policies and strategies to facilitate the transition of research outputs into marketable products, the Executive Secretary of NCST, Dr. Eugene Mutimura, revealed that now is the time for research findings to no longer remain in books, but to be brought to the market for commercialization, thus contributing to the country's development.
This strategy actually is providing a framework for what is already existing in the country, but more so to concentrate efforts so that research and innovation growth in the country becomes more streamlined into more innovations that can be commercialized. Because the overall goal is to ensure that science, technology, and innovation becomes tangible entrepreneurial result-oriented into projects that can create jobs, that can grow economy. And that's critically important because all these projects we have funded, we have moved from a time whereby this basic research but more academic industry collaboration research. And the vision is actually that we continue to fund these projects because a critical mass of projects funded, more opportunities for innovation growth and economic growth.
To date, through the fund supporting research and innovation activities at NCST, the Rwandan government has invested over 7 billion in more than 126 research projects, with around 30 projects reaching the stage of being market ready. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Evans. Now to the health sector. This Friday, both in Rwanda and around the World Down Syndrome Day was observed. This condition is congenital and is characterized by distinct facial features and developmental delays. On these days, some parents of children born with Down syndrome expressed their appreciation to the government of Rwanda for the support they receive in healthcare, education and awareness campaigns aimed at educating the public about the condition. These efforts have contributed to reducing the stigma previously associated with individuals with Down syndrome. In Rwanda, there is an organization called the Rwanda Down Syndrome Organization, which brings together over 500 people with Down syndrome. Musabe Edwige, the leader of this organization, mentioned that this year's celebration coincided with various forms of support provided by the government, including heart surgeries for many of those affected, as individuals with Down syndrome have often congenital heart defects. However, she also stated that they would appreciate additional support from the government, especially regarding health insurance coverage, and that Down syndrome, or trisomy 21, is a genetic disorder that occurs during pregnancy due to an error in the distribution of chromosomes. Normally, a person has 46 chromosomes, 23 from the mother and 23 from the father. For trisomy 21 to occur, one parent contributes 24 chromosomes instead of 23. In Rwanda, there are approximately 3,000 individuals with Down syndrome, and these are only those who have sought medical care and received treatment.
Koko hari umuntu ugihagarara ku nyama muri iki gihe koko uretse nitaba umukiriya kiriya biteze
ariko taye aho gusoreza imyenda wibereye kuri telefone kweli
ariko ni kuwa mbere nawe wagwamo wamo uracyari wose icyo nakubwiraga wa muntu niko ye umuntu w'umugabo ku bukwe bwe akambara kositimu itukura iciye n'amaboko noneho none se uyisuza
si wombwiye ngo ngwemo se
ntabwo ari ibi navugaga
kuwa mbere kanda akanyenyeri 345 akanyenyeri 2 urwego maze nawe ugwemo. Wikwisondeka.
You're still watching RwandaTV News. Now to matters making headlines globally. On Friday, the new president of Namibia, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, took the oath of office as the head of state. One of the main expectations is to lift a significant number of citizens out of poverty, address the issue of unemployment, and tackle other challenges. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah won the election in November last year with 58% of the vote, becoming the 5th president of the country since it gained independence. The 72-year-old Netumbo is also the first female president of Namibia and the 3rd woman to lead the country in Africa after Ellen Johnson, who previously led Liberia, and Samia Suluhu Hassan, who currently leads Tanzania. Her inauguration was attended by various leaders, including those from South Africa, Angola, and Tanzania. The To more news, the United Nations has announced that 8,938 people died while attempting to migrate from their countries in search of better living conditions in 2024. This is the largest number of migrants' deaths in the single year. However, the UN Migration Agency believes the actual number could be higher as there were significant challenges faced by researchers, leading them to suspect that more migrants may have died in the sea or desert, with the exact numbers unknown. The deputy leader of the organization stated that the world should not view this issue as urgent, but instead focus on implementing effective measures to prevent people from fleeing in the first place. And this brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin, but before we leave, a reminder of the top stories that made the edition. The President of the Senate has re-echoed that promoting the well-being of citizens in line with their development is the cornerstone of protecting the lives of individuals. The National Consultative Forum of Political Organizations in Rwanda strongly condemns the rhetoric of hatred and the ideology of genocide that continues to be seen in some countries within the region where Rwanda is located. On the international scene, on Friday, the new president of Namibia, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, took the oath of office as the head of state of the country. And that concludes today's bulletin. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of the entire news team, we wish you a restful weekend. Stay safe and take care.